So, at first, I wasn't gonna say nothing, y'all. I wasn't. I promise you I wasn't. And the reason I wasn't is because, let me actually fix this shit. The reason I wasn't is because, let me see. The reason I wasn't is because, it's nasty. That's nasty. It's nasty. Let me see. Let me fix my shit real quick. Yeah. So I wasn't gonna say nothing because it's nasty. I'm gonna keep it a buck. It's really nasty. And truth be told, truth be told, like I said before, I wasn't going to say anything because it's kind of like, to me personally, it's giving like clickbaity type shit. Dude all of a sudden out of the blue came out with this, and I get why you wouldn't want to talk about this type of shit. I get that. Like, I promise you I get that. But I'm gonna keep it a buck. This is nasty. I'm gonna let Omeezy, but we're gonna go to the original response from old dude because this has to stop. This has to stop. Ladies, if you watch my page, I get it. The whole lambasting on the internet of women, specifically black women. But I would hope that even black women would be like, we have to shame this type of behavior. Not only did this young lady come out and say that she wants to address the allegations, she did not address exactly what was said because it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. And if you put the context clues together, you can be like, all right, that's kind of like wild, but it does happen. It happens kind of like, I think I remember even my ex telling me stories about her cousins. You feel me? Like not my actually ex, but one of my first. Not my ex, actually. Listen, all I'm saying is it happens. It happens. And it's nasty. It's very nasty, and it's kind of like when I see women with those type of situations, it's very like you gotta be like careful on how you approach those situations as a man if you want to entertain that woman, because it's like that does something to women's brains on a literal level of somebody that they were literally family with and they choose to be involved with them, or sometimes it's not even a choice. You know what I mean? Because there are cases like that. You know what I mean? So she's trying to make it seem as though that was that was her situation where it was no choice, but not on the situation of her family being involved with her sexually, but she's trying to make it seem as though it wasn't a choice with her and her actual dude. And again, allegedly, we're going to watch the video of his response, but we're going to watch Omeezy's like take on this because I think that he's probably going to talk about it. Old boy's take too. If he doesn't, we're gonna go to it if I don't feel like it's sufficient enough, because this is nasty. I'm not gonna hold you. A lot of this is nasty. But again, I understand that this does happen. You know what I mean? I was saying before, like my when I first interacted with a young lady sexually, she was telling me about stories about when she was younger and how she was involved with her cousins. And that was up in New York, my niggas. Like, that wasn't in the South. That was up in New York. They be doing that in New York. I'm not in New York, but they be doing that up north too. Y'all trying to make it seem as though it's a Southern thing where cousins be on cousins. Is definitely some shit that be happening up north too. All right. But nobody want to talk about that shit because it's kind of like it's a taboo. And I say it's a taboo like it's supposed to be out in the open, but I'm gonna keep it a buck. I don't think that that's safe. You know what I mean? Because you could create messed up children. It's just allegedly. You know what I mean? But you know, I think that I want to be careful about the grace that I give too, because it's like at the end of the day, she admits that she did something wrong. The issue is that she didn't exactly say what she did wrong. But that's the grace that I'm gonna give her. You know what I mean? That's the grace that I'm gonna give her. You're not gonna say exactly what you did wrong. Now, what you did after you apologized to the dude, you basically said that he sexually abused you. That's when I'm like, okay, now it's gonna look crazy. Again, I'm not saying that it did not happen. I'm just saying, because it's alleged. I'm not saying believe all. I'm just saying it's alleged that it happened, right, on her behalf. And we're going to believe it, right? But we need to see both sides of the story, her side, his side, and the truth. So I'm going to start it from the beginning because it's like y'all need to see what she said from the get-go.
Hello, everyone. I am here to say my truth and share my story on the things that have been released on the internet and the things that have happened to me. First and foremost, I want to start off by taking full accountability for what I did. I want to start off by apologizing to the person that I hurt the most in this situation, which was my ex. I want to say sorry to my supporters that I disappointed. I did a lot of things that I'm not proud of, and I have to own up to them. To my ex, I'm so sorry for hurting you, and I'm sorry that I did not take your feelings into consideration when I did what I did.
Now, what she says after this apology, to me personally, no, null and voids all of that apology. Now I'm still back on your ass after you say what you said, if this is allegedly not true.
My ex were involved in a toxic and abusive relationship. When I was in love with him, I was blind to the harmful behavior and abuse that was going on.
See what I mean?
There's no way.
Blind to the alleged abuse that was going on. Now we're gonna watch this video too if Omeezy don't, because he responded within like yesterday, like within a less than 24 hours.
Out of this one, I'm sorry, but you're done. You're finished.
The next thing I'm about to say are serious allegations that I know men often get falsely accused of, but at the end of the day, all I can do is come on here, tell my truth, tell my story, whether you want to believe it or not. There was a time where me and my ex were drinking, and he forced himself onto me.
Me and my ex were drinking and he forced himself onto me. We don't know the context behind that. We don't know whether that allegation is true or not. We don't know. That's the first thing.
And it hurt and I cried.
She then proceeds to say,
and I begged him to stop, but he never did. At the time of my essay, he was very rough on me, which resulted in me getting a cut on my insides. Luckily, I was able to take video footage of the blood on the scene and a graphic photo of the damage that resulted.
The picture of my internal tearing was too graphic to share online. So they basically blocked it. So she showed, and again, we don't know the context. We don't even know if this is true, because they could have been just having rough sex and it just happened. That does happen. If you a nigga with one of them paws, then you know what I'm talking about. It just happens. But because of the way that all of this shit went down, we don't know. I don't want to. This is all alleged. Just like his situation is alleged. Well, she's kind of proven that it wasn't alleged because she said that her own family has had a talk with her about her actions. So that's, you know what I mean, put two and two together type shit. So the fact that she's showing these pictures, I want to be like, what? You know what I mean? Like, she got pictures of a ruptured, you know what I mean? So it's like, I don't know, bruh. At the same time, again, she did what she did with her cousin. I get it. But if this situation about him, you know what I mean, sexually abusing her is true, he still kind of look crazy. I'm gonna just keep it a buck. I know. Misogyny. You feel me? But it's like, call it for what it is, bro. Like, if you on that type of time, you know what I mean?
Boy, I feel like we should not be in this group chat at all. But while I am here, I'm gonna get to the bottom of it, damn it. Just a few days ago, streamer K Verts was brutally, and I do mean brutally, exposed for cheating on her boyfriend Kenneth with her cousin. Now, if you thought that situation was messy and it ended there, K Vertes came to the internet and decided to respond to her ex Kenneth, making wild, and I do mean wild, allegations about him physically assaulting her, putting hands on her, and essaying / graping her. And just as I was gearing up to make a response video about that entire thing, Kenneth came back to the internet at 5 a.m. You can see the bags in my eyes to respond and blasted her out the water, claiming that she was a fraud. And now, as the community's leader in unemployed news, I am here to break it down with you all because this is messy, this is disgusting, and it's proving why all of this should have never gotten to the internet.
Nah, I think it should. I think it should have, because it's like, this happens a lot more than people want to admit, and it's still happening. Nigga, I'm 36. These niggas is probably in their less than 25 years old. You feel me? So it's like, it's happening. It's happening, dog. And it needs to be talked about a lot more, because then we could bring back shame. I'm gonna just keep it a buck. I know people don't want to, don't shame them, don't kink shame, don't kink. Some people consider that as a kink, my nigga. I'm gonna keep it a buck. Some niggas and some women do consider that shit as a fucking kink. Listen to me. Stop fucking your cousins and your sisters and your brothers. Shit, stop fucking with your children too, motherfuckers. Mothers and fathers. I've heard them stories too. Fucking weird ass motherfuckers. Like, stop that shit, dog. Like, for real, it's not good, dog. It's not. Nothing about that is healthy, dog.
He did do.
First, I want to address the note that was released online. I did not have any involvement in creating it or writing it in any way. It was only shared to me. And I also want to make this very clear. I did not have any sexual intercourse with anybody outside of my relationship. There was a rumor.
How? How did you not have any sexual relationship with anybody outside your relationship? How, when you're literally going to say to us that you had an intervention with your family about the actions that you did? Your family had to come to you. So how?
Going around that I was cheating my entire relationship and I've been doing this for months, which is completely false because this is only a recent incident that had occurred. I'm not trying to make
Recent incident. What is the incident then? And was it sexual? It's like, you see what I mean by accountability that she allegedly took? How do you take accountability for something and then rip off the Band-Aid, kind of like you were going through the healing process when you put the Band-Aid on with your accountability, but you ripped it right off when you said this shit.
Make anything I've done sound any better, but I think it's important that I share my truth because of the insane amount of lies that are being spread about me on the internet.
She claims that there was no sort of sexual interactions outside of her relationship, and she claimed that this wasn't something that happened months ago. She claims that it was a recent incident. She claimed a lot of stuff that this wasn't, but she never explicitly said.
Bruh, there's a video of her and her fucking cousin playing, like, I want to show it to y'all, to be honest with you. Give me a minute. I'm gonna see if I can find it. It's a weird video, and this is her and her cousin. Give me a minute, my nigga. Give me a fucking minute. So it's like the conclusions that the internet ran with, I get it. The internet be doing the internet, but you know that the internet can be the biggest detectives out these motherfuckers. But the internet found one video that I was like, she more than likely did it. Let me give me a minute, y'all. We fucking found him. We found it.
First time trying Arby's with my cousin. Take a bite.
This is supposed to be a joke. Dropped. I'm seeing this video a whole lot different. This is supposed to be a joke, y'all. Again, this was supposed to be a joke. This is supposed to be something clickbaity, rage baity, I guess.
First time trying Arby's with my cousin. Take a bite.
This was supposed to be a joke, y'all. This is supposed to be a joke, bruh.
First time trying Arby's with my cousin. Take a bite.
Like, come on, bruh. So it's like, when you say things like this, bruh, come on, bruh. I'm gonna let this bitch play.
Said exactly what it was. Okay, granted, we got this off the table. You did not have any sort of penetrative interactions with your family member. I think that that's totally fine and dandy. But what exactly did happen? What are you apologizing for? What went on between you and your cousin from your specific POV?
I want to say sorry to my supporters that I disappointed. I did a lot of things that I'm not proud of, and I have to own up to them. To my ex, I'm so sorry for hurting you, and I'm sorry that I did not take your feelings into consideration when I did what I did. But our relationship was not picture perfect as it may seem.
She denies pieces of the incident, but never tells the entire interaction and story.
I do believe that bringing all of this to the internet and the way my ex did was completely wrong and invasive. It felt like a breach in our privacy. Thank you for your time, and thank you for listening to my
I will say that. But again, I can't say that if I want to bring back shame. I can't say that if I want to bring back shame, because the shame aspect of it is it's not just your family. It's not just your friends. And with this device that we have, I got to stand on it. Like, to bring back shame, that shit right there will stop you from doing certain shit. So people don't be, especially if you one of these type of people where you be outside, out and about, getting sponsorships and shit, deals and shit. Nah. Let them know too. Let the businesses know too. You feel me? I'm not gonna hold you. Like, it's the same thing with the men. Like, bring that shit back. Because once niggas start losing deals and sponsorships, bring that shit back on both sides. Keep it equal left and equal right. Okay? Men should do the same, and same thing with women. It just is what it is, man. That's just my personal opinion.
My story. This is my experience and the things that I went through in my relationship and in the past 2.5 years of my life.
And I'm with you. The internet can take things and interpret things in their own way. So it is very important to clear up those specific parts, but you still leave a gap so that people can, fill in the pieces if they so choose. So you apologize for something, but you never explicitly say exactly what happened. And that's why even today people are still saying that this is cap, that's cap, the third and the fourth. That vague apology matters the most because the rest of the video isn't even really about exposing the scandal. It's almost like she wanted to brush right past that real fast, do her best Barry Allen impression, speed right past it, so she can get to calling out anybody and everybody that is attached to this scandal.
First and foremost, I want to start off by taking full accountability for what I did. I want to start off by apologizing to the person that I hurt the most in this situation, which was my ex. I want to say sorry to my supporters that I disappointed. I did a lot of things that I'm not proud of, and I have to own up to them. To my ex, I'm so sorry for hurting you, and I'm sorry that I did not take your feelings into consideration when I did what I did. But our relationship was not picture perfect.
Again, what exactly was it that you did what you did, and you said that you wasn't involved with anybody sexually? That's what you said. just a while ago. And it, again, putting pieces to the puzzle together.
Perfect as it may seem. I lost myself in our relationship and I was in a very dark place at the time.
That could be true. That could be true. I'm saying to you that that could be true, but you are not truly, with the allegations that's being, like, you're not truly like, what happened? If you're going to come to the internet, you might, it's like, it is what it is. Might be out in the forefront with it. You know what I mean? I get that it was basically forced upon you to be, put out, but it's like, now you got to allegedly clean up what was said. If you can clean that up, you know what I mean?
I did what I did. I have to own up to what I did. I have to take accountability
What did you do?
for my actions. And in doing that, I've come to realize that I need help for myself and for all my loved ones around me. I know I've done wrong. I fucked up. And I'm taking time away to seek professional help in order.
What did you do that you have to seek professional help? From your loved ones, your family is telling you that you need help.
To correct my mistakes, reflect on what I've done, and become a better person. But I would still like to come on here to share my story because regardless, I've done wrong. And
now, I'm not saying everything after this could be a lie. I'm saying that, well, technically that's what I'm saying. It could be, allegedly, because it's still alleged, right? But the main thing is that if this is true, that's the part that we also have to take in consideration. I get it. You know, women and men are probably going to look at you skeptical right now because it's kind of like all of a sudden now you want to do it. I'm the type of dude where I'd be like, give me enough evidence and I'd be like, all right, checking a different Kroger for what? But yeah, like I'm the type of dude, I want to hear the whole story, her story, his story, and the truth. You know what I mean? I want to be on that type of time when it comes to these type of situations, because at the end of the day, and I only give grace when grace is due, and I'm not going to hold you. I do give grace for people that look like me. I'm keep it buck. I do. But I don't know. I think that with this situation, it's kind of nasty because of it's not really fully you taking the so-called accountability that you say that you're taking, because you're basically flipping it back on him like he did this and this to me, which could be true. I don't know. But this is not taking accountability if you're going to just flip it on his head. You know what I mean? You didn't even say what exactly was done. You actually said that nothing was done sexually, and you were the one that's really the victim in this. You were the one that's really the sexually abused victim in this.
And I did not have to go down that.
And truth be told, what another take that people are not going to talk about this is that technically, I don't know. Because I don't know how old the dude is, the cousin that's allegedly being involved with her sexually. She has a choice. She's a grown ass woman. I get that. But what was being said, depending on his age, they saying that they've been involved with each other for a minute. You know what I mean? And these are blood cousins. You know what I mean? So it's like, I don't know. Me personally, I'm thinking and I'm looking at it like I'm gonna just keep it still. Put it on the man. I'm sorry, but it just is what it is. I know that they probably were both young, but if he was older, I'm gonna just be like that. If he was older, if they were the same age, all right, they were just little kids, young, dumb, and you know the rest of that. And they touching on private parts and all that shit is crazy. I know, but it happens. It happens. Nobody wants to talk about that shit, but it does happen, right? And they must have been involved with that shit when they were young. Allegedly, this is true. What they're saying is that they've been involved allegedly for years. You know what I mean? And they just now like they keep getting involved with each other type shit. Like that's the nasty part, is that they keep doing it even in their older age, knowing that this is not right. You know what I mean? Am I saying that this is good? No, I'm saying that the mind state behind this shit, I can get why it's repetitive, because it's like a lot of people don't want to admit this shit, but when you have sex, it is a drug that goes to your brain and says, this feels good. This feels right. This feels nice. And the world can like literally be like demeaning you, crashing down. Y'all see the motherfuckers that be like out here loving on these strippers and porn stars, and they be like, I don't give a fuck. Like, I love this girl. You know what I mean? Like, it goes to it's literally a drug, oxytocin, that goes to the brain. It's a bonding drug that humans usually have when they have sex with people. It's a bonding drug that goes to your brain. It's chemically, like it's scientifically proven that when you have sex with people, usually that drug goes to the brain and literally says that this is a safe place. This is a safe area. Not realizing all of the fucking other signs of this was not safe. This was not safe. You looking at this shit with rose colored glasses, but the drug is already in your brain. You understand what I mean? So again, am I giving this girl a out? No. I'm saying that if it's allegedly true that she was been involved with this dude since they were kids, which is what I've been hearing, I can see why it's hard for her to be like, she needs to get help. This happens a lot. I know I'd be following creators that beautiful fucking women, and they had the same type of situations with fucking siblings, and it's mixed feelings between, they know for a fact that they shouldn't be doing it, but it's like when they say that they love them, they don't know if it's like, do I love them as a brother to sister love, or do I love them because we already been involved like that? That's that's the drug shit. That's the drug that went to their brain. That's why it's fucked up. That's why it's unsafe. You understand what I mean? If we're gonna talk about it, let's talk about it. But yeah, man.
Route, and I deeply regret it. But there's more to my story, and there's a lot of lies and misinformation being spread about me in order to...
I'm gonna say this, I don't think that she's taking full accountability, but again, if this is allegedly true that she was sexually abused, we're gonna see.
On more hate and negativity towards my name, and I would like to clear up a lot of things. First, I want to address the...
This is where I believe K-Verts messes up. Again, your family doesn't agree with the choices that you made, but you never explicitly explain the choices that you made. She's going to try to tie in Snow Cone's allegations about family disowning her. She's leaving out big chunks that still give people a bunch of pause.
Firstly, I want to clear up that I wasn't disowned by anybody, and I still have a great relationship with my mother. This was a fallacious rumor that was started by someone that I thought was a friend, and is completely untrue. My family does not agree with the choices that I made, but they're standing beside me as I continue to get help and work to better myself. I also want to talk about a stream that my ex was on.
You heard what she just said.
This was a fallacious rumor that was started by someone that I thought was a friend, and is completely untrue. My family does not agree with the choices that I made, but they're standing beside me as I continue to get help and work to better myself.
Now, you could take that two ways. You could take that as, oh shit, she really did it. Or you could take that as her family is very religious, very strict on relationships, and basically maybe they were about to get married. I've seen situations where, and I get it, it sounds like I'm copping pleas for the girl. All I'm saying is it could be something else, right? It could be. Because I've seen families that be like on some type of time where they basically be like, well, you were involved with somebody else sexually and you say that you want to marry this dude, or he's allegedly your fiance type shit. Go get some fucking help. You understand what I mean? We gonna see.
I also want to talk about a stream that my ex was on where he alleged that I did not want to publicly claim him and I wanted to hide our relationship from the internet. But in reality, in the first year of us being together, we actually had a popular couple page. And the real reason on why I wanted to go private was because at the time, I had a lot of people actively telling me to leave him because it was toxic. I also want to make it clear that any cousin or stepbrother or any content like that we made together was his idea, and he convinced me to do it.
Wait a minute, so was that dude actually him? Wait a minute, was that him? That probably was him. I'm tripping. Listen. I'm gonna be on some race shit. All you niggas look alike.
First time trying Arby's with my cousin.
So it was
Take
him.
a bite.
It was him. I thought that was the cousin. I thought that was actually the cousin.
The next thing I want to address is a very serious topic. It is my belief that suicide in any form should be taken serious and never lightly.
Wait a minute, what?
While I understand the streaming business and the need to say crazy things in order to get clicks and impressions, the thought that somebody's personal struggle with suicide can be used by anybody for jokes and views is disgusting and cruel. While I've been off the net, it was brought to my attention that the streamer Snow Cone made up a false rumor that I admitted myself into a suicide facility in order to get attention from my ex. I was involuntary.
Again, this is where it gets nasty, man. This is where it gets nasty, because I've had, you know what I mean? Like, I've had family members that had to, like, do shit like that, too. And we should take this type of shit serious, for real. Like, for real. Like, nigga, even I have had depressing ass fucking suicide type of thoughts. It gets serious, dog. Y'all gotta be safe. You gotta be safe, man. You can't be playing like that. But again, as much as I say that, I do have to take accountability of how much of that fucking depression wave, because some people don't realize that they go in bouts of depression, cycling, spiraling, like not spiraling in one motion, but spiraling down. You know what I mean? Like spiraling fucking down, just spiraling down. You gotta, like, the accountability part is be like, all right, how do I fix this shit? How do I get out of this shit? And sometimes it's hard. It is. It's not an easy one answer fits all fucking questions, but you do have to try. You know what I mean? And I tell you this much, being a streamer, I don't think that helps at all. I think that makes that shit worse.
Voluntarily admitted into a suicide vicinity because I was considered a threat to myself. It was a terrible experience and one I would never wish on myself or anybody else. I want to say to Snow Cone that while I understand I'm not perfect and I've done wrong, regardless of the mistakes that a person makes, that doesn't give you or anybody else the right to belittle, lie, and create false allegations about somebody's mental health. Throughout all of this, you've lied and made up rumors about me in order to hate farm me and get attention. Even though you don't care, I want to let you know that the rumors you created have garnered me more death threats and have made my mental battle that much harder. And that hurts from someone I considered a close friend.
Now, while the call logs with her family members don't really prove or disprove anything that either Snow Cone or K Verts is saying about, the relationship dynamic with the family, the discharge papers, the images from the hospital, and all those things should be pushed back to the allegations that Snow Cone made. Snow Cone claimed that all of this stuff was fake and false, and that she had a bunch of voice notes, but never really provided anything for fear of legal threats from the family members or from K Verts or from somebody. And it may have been against YouTube's TOS, Twitch's TOS. So, or from saying that all of this stuff was fake and false, and that she had a bunch of voice notes, but never really provided anything for fear of legal threats from the family members or from K Verts or from somebody. And it may have been against YouTube's TOS, Twitch's TOS. So she decided to omit that. But with that being said, when K Verts came to the internet and dropped her receipts, it may have cleared up any drama relating to any false, ending of a life narrative. Now take note as the way that this whole video is structured, which part she puts in front of which, when she decides to prove, claims with evidence and when she does not, because this next part that becomes deeper and darker is very, very important. It's very, very important how she decided to lay it out. It's very, very important what she decided to include, because this is the portion where she claims that Kenneth, her ex, took advantage of her.
The next
and that's I'm taking this shit serious. I know that the kids gonna be like, oh, nah, bruh. I take that shit serious because it's like, if my sister came to me with this, I'm taking that shit serious. Even if she was a streamer, I'm taking that shit serious. You understand what I mean? So, yeah, like, give me a minute. Yeah, my bad.
What I'm about to say are serious allegations that I know men often get falsely accused of, but at the end of the day, all I can do is come on here, tell my truth, tell my story, whether you want to believe it or not. There was a time where me and my ex were drinking, and he forced himself onto me. And it hurt, and I cried, and I begged him to stop, but he never did. At the time of my essay, he was...
Listen, give a damn what y'all be thinking, man. If this is allegedly true, again, shame on left, shame on right. If this is allegedly true, I don't give a damn how long ago it was. If it happened, it happened. And it needs to be called out. It just so happened it's called out right after she got in her shit. It just is what it is.
Very rough on me, which resulted in me getting a cut on my insides. Luckily, I was able to take video footage of the blood on the scene and a graphic photo of the damage that resulted.
Now, this is the part where I want to make it very clear. We are no longer on addressing any of the allegations when it comes to her sleeping with a family member, having a relationship that was more romantic with a family member. We are well beyond that. We are at the unearthing of the deep and dark traumas in their relationship as a whole. K Verts came to this video to not clear her name, because in my opinion, there hasn't been the best job of doing so. Even taking accountability. I wouldn't say that that's the case either. But with a whopping 8 minutes left into the video, she says that Kenneth is putting hands on her, is verbally, physically, and mentally abusing her.
There's two sides to every story, and our relationship was unhealthy on both ends. And since he's decided to bring my wrongdoings onto the internet, I believe it is only fair that I bring attention to the things that he has done to me, because my ex was never a saint like he paints himself out to be. We had a lot of arguments throughout our relationship, which was normal. But what wasn't normal was the verbal, mental, and physical abuse that he subjected me to. He put me through a lot in the past 2.5 years of us being together. He even forced himself on me at one point. My ex dealt with a lot of anger issues and he would often use me as an outlet. For example, he would punch things, he would rip wires in the heat of conflicts. He would yell at me when I cried and he would gaslit me until I believed I was the problem. There were 2 or 3 times where my ex would approach me unprovoked and put me in a chokehold against the wall, and I would tell him to stop because I was scared and he wouldn't.
That is deep. That is heavy. That is a serious, and I do mean serious, allegation that, you know, I can't take lightly on this channel.
This is what it is. I can't
again,
either.
So far, it is speculation. It is he say, she say.
It is.
When we get into Kenneth's response a little bit later, he will have a counter to that same exact incident. But my, oh my, that is, wow. This video made Kenneth's video quickly look less about some sort of betrayal situation that happened, but more of a response to actions that happen.
And it's like, I'm not gonna hold you. My personal thoughts on it is, as much as we saying, you know, of course she would come out with this type of story, I'm not gonna hold you. What I'm thinking in my head, again, going back to the stories of the women that I've heard tell their stories of them being involved with either family members or siblings, it's almost as though, not all, but it's almost as though self-inflicted harm sometimes is in those situations, or a matter of choosing people that are abusive, choosing people that are horrible people, you know what I mean? And actually gravitating towards those people. So although her ex isn't her cousin, he probably had similar qualities of toxic and chaotic and just not peace, you know what I mean? Like if this is allegedly true, I can see how she would gravitate towards somebody that would do all of those things that she's alleged that her ex did to her. Again, going back to the bonding, the oxytocin bonding chemical that goes to the brain when you're having sex in that manner. You know what I mean? What did they say? What the saying goes is that first impressions last a lifetime. You know what I mean? That does the same thing with your mind and your body too. It's like, oh, this is normal. This feels good. I remember this feeling. Let's do it again. Playing in fire. Let's do this shit again. You know what I mean? Allegedly.
Happened in the relationship. I know that sounds crazy, but these kids are seemingly going through it as told by K Verts, and now everything is out in the open. And it's just up to us as a community to kind of understand or unpack what's going on. It's disgusting. And for what it's worth, this should not be on the internet. K Verts didn't prove everything that she said in this video, but she did make it harder to believe that Kenneth's video was the entire truth. But see, this is why Kenneth's response video matters so much. K Verts changed the entire narrative in a singular video. It came less about her and her relationship with her cousin and more about the relationship that her and Kenneth had, the toxic one, the alleged abusive one, the one that, you know, experienced a ton of trauma. And while there were gaps, people were moving in a different direction when this video came out. But as soon as Kenneth decided to respond, he is acknowledging that some of these things are true, but there are so many missing pieces to the puzzle that she isn't putting out there, and it's not going to make her look any better in the light.
Toxic and abusive. This is what they always fucking do. You see how the shift went from, I'm sorry for sending my cousin nudes, I'm sorry that you had to walk in on me showing my bare ass and my bare ass cheeks to my cousin on FaceTime, to me and my ex had a very toxic relationship, and it was very abusive.
One thing I do want to note in this conversation, because K Verts has been labeled as this cousin smasher, and for what it's worth, I think that was pretty much everybody's takeaway from the original video that Kenneth did put out on the internet. But in his response to the entire situation, he doesn't make it explicitly clear that there was any sort of penetrative intercourse going on. He talks about things that were, you know, going around the event that were more schmexual, like sending explicit pictures, doing things that were probably...
I'm not gonna hold you. We grown. Ain't no way that she's sending ass pics. He's catching her on FaceTime, sending her ass, booty cheeks wide the fuck open, and that ain't happening. Ain't no fucking way. You don't just wake up and say, you know what? I'ma like my cousin because he looks or she looks fine. You don't just wake up like that. You understand what I mean? And if you do, you do need to get some checked out. But That's just usually like with just context clues, like the context, the devil's in the details. Like that's not usually something that fucking happens. She didn't just say, oh, I'm just going to bust it wide open for my fucking cousin. This has to be a thing.
A little bit too close to home and comfort and stuff like that. If I'm recalling correctly, Kenneth never explicitly said in his first video that they had any sorts of penetrative schmexual intercourse. It's always been, you know, kind of like a fill in the blank type of situation with onlookers. So like I said earlier, the narrative has totally shifted from if she had schmexual interactions with her cousin to who was more abusive in the relationship. And Kenneth is trying to get in front of that narrative and let the world know that while he did play some sort of part in this, it is totally on her. That the toxicity is not one-sided at all.
Bro, there was...
Nope. And you see what I mean? You see? So some of this is allegedly true, but what of it is true? Just like how we got on her about what of this is true, same thing goes with him. What of that is true? Bring back in the shame. You shouldn't put your hands on a woman. You shouldn't be abusive with women. It just is what it is, bruh. Like, nah, bruh.
So many times where I tried to get away from you, but literally...
Nope, I get that too. I promise you I get that, my nigga. But no. That means you keep doing what you got to do to make sure that... It's been times where women have showed up to my fucking crib, booty, butt ass naked. And literally, the moment I open the door is like opening up the door to the motherfucking devil. I'm gonna call it what it is. Because it's like, I know I want them. I know I want them like sexually, like, right? You know what I mean? Like, I know I want, but I can't because they are toxic as fuck. I can't. And they know that I want them too. They literally know that I want that net motherfucker. They know I want that shit. They know it. And it been times where I would be like, listen, I'm gonna just go ahead and do my thing. Fuck around with, you know, this and this. Not realizing that's not helping the situation either. I'm thinking if I do this, mess with multiple motherfuckers, you know what I mean? I can basically let them know, listen, I am off you. Leave me alone. They still with the shit. So it's like you have to take like that accountability on your side too, bro. For real.
Bro, there were so many times where I tried to get away from you.
You ain't try hard
but
enough.
Literally at TwitchCon, bro. I was in LA with my boys, bro, and you was literally calling me, telling me that you was finna, you know, and then like, bro, like I don't know, like, bro, I get soft around that. I get soft.
That's what I'm saying. I get that. I get that because I got soft around that too. That's what kept me for a little bit, is because they was on some I'm about to unalive myself. Now I feel like damn if I do, I'm damned if I don't. Whether I leave this girl or I stay with her, I don't want her to harm myself because I do love the girl. I do. I get that, fellas. I get that. But even if they do go about saying things like that, or even go about executing that, you know what I mean, plan, that's not on you. And that's easier said than done. I get it. I promise you I get it. But that's not on you. You have to do what's best for you, especially when it comes to dealing with women like that's on that type of time. Because I promise you I get that, but nothing good comes from situations where you stay involved with people, with women specifically. I'm talking to the men that do that. I'm about to unalive myself if you don't stay with me, or I'm about to unalive myself if you don't do this. Like it's an ultimatum type shit. Nothing good comes from that, and your life will literally, remember the spiraling shit that I was talking about? You'll literally just spiral out of fucking control, bro. I promise you that's what my life did. And the moment I got the fuck on, thank God, it was by the grace of God I did, but my life just kind of got a little bit better because I was at peace.
Off with that shit because like, bro, I don't want to be responsible. I care about you. I don't want to see you do that to yourself. But when you're calling me, spamming me, saying you're gonna do that, bro, keep in mind, TwitchCon was in San Diego. I was in LA. She started saying she was going to do that stuff, saying how sad she was. This was like when we broke up or whatever, back in like TwitchCon last year.
At the end of the day, I chose to stay in this relationship and I made my mistakes. I regret every—
Like, I hate how you're trying to make it seem like you was trapped in here, bro. Like, come on, bro. Like, I fought demons to leave your ass, bro. I fought
Nah, I'm not gonna hold you. I did too. This is I can get where he's coming from. Truth be told, my issue is I don't want to hear the alleged unaliving situation. I want to hear what part did you play in the abuse. Like you say that you had some of it was true. What parts was true? That's what I want to hear. Because if the parts that I'm thinking that's the worst to me personally, like the abuse and she telling you no, stop, and you keep going and you rupturing her insides, like, you know what I mean? Pushing you up, punching the wall. I get it. You mad. But it's like the part where I'm trying to figure out is what part of the story that she said was true? Because that's great, my nigga. Like that's no, fuck all the unaliving, fuck her situation. What the fuck part did you have to play? Again, this is toxic all the way around.
Fucking demons to leave you, nigga. I was fighting demons, bro. Everybody that knows me knows that you like manipulated me, and I was fighting demons. I tried.
Nope. This is accountability on both sides, my nigga. On both sides, my nigga. Because you also said to your audience that some of it was true. So she didn't manipulate you all the way, my nigga. You wanted to be there. You said it yourself. You just said it. You loved her. And that's cool. That's okay. Even after this shit, I think you still love her. And that's cool. That's okay. Main thing is that the lambasting, the back and forth lambasting, I think both sides, and they still young. They kids. You know what I mean? It's going to take some time. I don't know, man. The manipulating word, it just gets thrown out like the narcissist and all of that shit, like, and the gaslighting. Like, it's just like trigger, like, therapy trigger words. Like, it don't really mean shit nowadays, because it's like, did she really manipulate you, my nigga? Or because I'm not saying that she didn't do it at all, but you wanted to be there, my nigga. Let's just keep it a fucking buck.
Leaving several times, bro. Several times, but each time I tried to leave, it was
you kept coming back.
Please, I'm
you
about to manipulation, bro. Like,
no. Listen, not all the time. I give you 3. Third time's the charm. Maybe 3 manipin dips. Okay, I promise you, I know it's hard. Because I dealt with a chick like that, and I'm not gonna hold you. I don't contact her to this day because I know myself. After everything she's done to me, she probably watching this video right now. I know myself. I really do want to take care of that girl. I did want to take care of that girl. But I can't. It's kind of like the person of when you give them an inch, they want the whole damn football field. Shit, they want the world. And they would go about, yeah, I'm trying to fix, I'm trying to learn, I'm trying to grow, I'm trying to, do this, I'm trying to do that. You're not trying hard enough, and it's not fast enough for me. Well, that's not my problem. Why are you making it just about me? We are human beings. We should always try to figure out, try to help each other. And I'm like, no, it's not fast enough for me. I got to get the fuck on. I got to go. And I used to agree with the fact that you should give people grace, right? When you're in relationships. But no. How many times do you give grace? Because I'm not Jesus. Play with Jesus. Don't play with me. You feel me? I'm not God. So how many times do I keep allowing you to harm me? And I'm doing nothing but showing you love, showing you grace, showing you nuance, empathy, allowing you to do things that I've told you that you shouldn't be doing, and you still do it anyway because you know how my heart is. So it's like, I get it, my nigga, but it's only 3 times of manipulation. After that, you're allowing that shit. You're allowing that shit, my nigga. So it's like, nah, bruh.
It's just like, bruh.
Kenneth attempts to squash any narrative that she and him stayed because this was a first love trauma bond type of situation. He's stating that the reason why they even continued the relationship is because anytime that he would try to leave, she would threaten some sort of self-harm, which claim can be substantiated.
That literally is trauma bonding. My boy.
By her previously stating that she checked into some sort of mental facility because she was going to self-harm herself. Self-harm isn't something self-harm can come in situations and instances of great trauma.
You staying with the girl because of that is literally trauma bonding, because you don't love yourself enough, nigga. That's your trauma, my nigga. That's do you not get it? But again, these are why these type of conversations are needed in this situation, because you'll understand people's perspective. My perspective. Y'all probably don't hear niggas like talk about shit like this. Niggas is gonna go on a sensationalized aspect. Now, Meezy, he's actually giving some type of nuance, but I got fucking actual life experience with shit like this. Well, not the fucking with your cousins and shit, but well, technically I've had, like I said before, I've had women that will tell me after we had sex, you know what I mean? That would tell me that, yeah, like they had some cousins that was fucking with me too. You know what I mean? Like, so it's like,
I don't know, being exposed on the internet. But this is also something that could have been a part of a past situation or scenario. This is something that she's gone to before. And I'm just going to keep it 100 with y'all, especially most of us who have dealt with relationships in our younger days. This is the exact same type of toxic energy that people have displayed beforehand. And it's just nasty that this is all being aired out in the fashion that it is. But so it's good that Kenneth is not denying any sorts of toxicity in the relationship. Hell, he's even talking about how he may have played a part in some of it, and we'll get to that in 2 seconds. But what he is vehemently denying is any sort of physical abuse that he played parts in.
He even forced himself on me at one point.
Say wallahi. Yo, hold on.
My ex dealt with a lot of anger issues, and he would often use me as—
Okay, no. First of all, I've never forced myself on her. I've never forced myself on her. I've never put my hands on her. I've never done any of the sort, my nigga. First of all, this girl was literally like, I don't know what's the word, like over sexual or like overly freaky, but
that proves my point all on my, oh my God, bruh. I was saying them in my head. It's almost like a thing. It's a thing where when they are involved with family members, especially at young ages, not all, I get it, but they are overly freaky. They are overly sexual. They were overly overt. And it's only because of, because it happens with men too when they are involved sexually at a young age, but it's almost like it's like a fucking snap when it happens with young ladies, especially dealing with young ladies and family members, bruh. I didn't want to say this because I don't know this. He said it. And with every situation that I have in my life experienced of women that I've come in contact with, not sexually all the time, but even just friends, they would tell me their sexual escapades. And they would also tell me their, situation with their family member. And it would be like one in one. Damn, like they are usually overly sexual, dog. Usually.
Bro, she literally would force me to drink. I've never.
Do you think it was weird of you to force me to smoke and drink? I never smoked a full blunt before. How often you smoke? I smoked my last one. And smoke where? I smoked a lot without you knowing or for the past year.
Never drank or smoked in
like just aggravated for no reason. So you was spending your money on weed every week? Not really. Like a bit would last me a good while because remember at the end of the day, I'm a lightweight. I never smoked a full blunt before. I only take some hits. Do you think it was weird of you to force me to?
my life until I met this girl. I have African parents and I don't fuck with that shit. I remember there was a time she even forced me to get my matching tattoo. There was a time, I think it was at the tattoo
She involving this nigga to get tattoos on his body?
shop or whatever. I was on a double date. It was me, her, and two girls. They were gay or whatever. And bro, she was getting on me because I told her I did not want to smoke and drink, bro. She was literally in the hallway crashing out on me because I did not want to smoke and drink. This girl was a
fellas, come here. Congregation of fellas, that young fellas. That's it. This is Unc. Don't you ever do that shit, nigga. Don't you ever fucking tattoo your body. Smoke and drink cause I'm a motherfucking female. I promise you, I get it. I mean, the peer pressure and shit. I get it. Matter of fact, don't even involve yourself with that shit. That shit is a recipe for disaster, young niggas. It's a recipe for disaster. I noticed some niggas get started off because there are some women that are in their 30s and 60s. I mean, I say 30s and 60s, 30s and 40s that cannot have sex unless they're drunk. You stop fucking with them women. You stop fucking with them fucking women, dog. It's a recipe for disaster, my nigga.
Bad influence, always trying to force me to smoke and drink every fucking time she seen me, bruh. Cause she didn't know how to do anything, process or have fun without that shit, bruh. Like I just don't fuck with that shit. I don't fuck with smoking or drinking, but I just thought, she's my ex or whatever.
Let me see.
Whatever, at the time she was my girl, whatever. I was like, you know what, bro, fuck it, bro. She wants to do it, then fuck it, bro. I'm gonna do it with her. But I never did that shit just to do it, bro. I don't fuck with that shit.
An outlet. For example, he would punch things, he would rip wires in the heat of conflicts. He would yell at me when I cried.
I would punch things, my nigga. I've never punched shit. What are you talking about, bro? And yes, I ain't gonna lie, early back in the day, I did have slight anger issues or whatever, but I would never touch her. I would never put my hands on her. But yes, this is already on the internet. She's, every single time we break up, she goes to the internet and talks about this shit. She's talked about this already. So why is she bringing this up again to make me look bad? We're not forgetting the fucking bucket list, bro. We're not forgetting how you fucking...
Wait a minute, what the fuck was that?
Again, to make and talk about...
Oh, wait a minute, it's the bucket list of the shit that she wanted to do with her cousin, dog.
Already. So why is she bringing this up again to make me look bad?
Bucket list
we're not forgetting the fucking bucket list.
This is the shit. This is the alleged bucket list that she wanted to do with her cousin. And niggas is talking about, well, we don't know for a fact that she actually had sex with her cousin. Was this like content? Was this like a content over everything shit? Was this content, my nigga? Why would she take a picture of it? Sex tape, head videos, hand jobs, handcuff and tripod video, up it quickly movie. And this was allegedly the list that basically he found on her phone that she wanted to do with oh boy.
List, bro. We're not forgetting how you fucking cheated on me with your cousin.
But it's alleged. This is alleged. Because we just don't know. We just don't
He's
know.
not hiding from any of these admissions or proof that K Verts is bringing to the table, but
He is kind of, sort of. He is. Because he said he first said that he doesn't do things like that, and then he said earlier he did. So it's like, which one? You know what I mean? He said at first he was like, I don't punch things, I don't punch walls, and then he said, well, earlier I had a little anger management. Were you punching anything earlier? You understand what I mean? So it's like, although he may think it doesn't count, it does create the foundation in the relationship. Although she probably already said it, she needs to state it again. You know what I mean? I'm just gonna call it, I'm gonna keep it what it is. Cause if we're talking about the alleged relationship that she's had with her cousin, which seems to be even before this nigga came into the picture, that's what it seemed like to me. We need to talk about even the beginnings, the fucking...
he is claiming that they are all out of context. The letters are real, the messages are real, the anger issues are real, but to the point of him placing hands on her, and that's where he's drawing the line. Now we're dealing with a context issue. Kenneth is saying that the evidence shows a toxic relationship, just like Kay Vertes is saying. But Kenneth is saying that this doesn't prove that this is the worst version of him, one that can get him not just packed up off of the internet, but also have him facing legal backlash and consequences as well. Now, I talked about how Kay Verts is doing her evidence giving structurally. Now it's time to take into note how Kenneth is breaking this down structurally. Granted, he is just going straight through the video, but I think it's important that he is, trying to downplay, diminish any sort of evidence that she is saying that it lacks context, because so far we haven't approached the biggest claim in the video with what seems to be the most damning piece of evidence, that Kenneth forced himself onto her and that left her in the bedroom in a bloody mess.
So
Wait a minute.
The most damning piece of evidence, that Kenneth forced himself onto her and that left her in the bedroom in a bloody mess.
So, Saturday, July 13th, okay? 2 days before your birthday. There's blood on the floor, right? There's no way out of this one. Tell me why July 18th, the same year, by the way, a couple days after your birthday, there's blood on the sheets and on the pillows. You know why? Because you're a freak and you always wanted me to crack. Always. Even when you was on, your period.
Don't bleed everywhere. I'm bleeding everywhere. You still better dick me down, blood and all. I ain't do all of this work for nothing. I will, damn.
That time of the month, you thought if I...
As a nigga that has run red lights, because that motherfucker was fine, I'm gonna just keep it a buck. I know, TMI. Listen, if she fine enough, fellas, I'm sorry. I will. Okay, listen. All periods ain't built the same, fellas. This is a little side note. This is a little tangent. All periods ain't built the same, fellas. Now, I get it. You be like, you should wait. Who waiting for 3 weeks? And she the only one I'm dealing with. Who waiting for 3 weeks? Who? So, all periods ain't built the same, fellas. And not just that, but sometimes it be heavy and sometimes it be light. Sometimes it be like, she don't want to touch nobody. Depending on the girl, sometimes she be like, get your ass over here. I'm trying to fuck. Who? Now, some niggas go as far as to eat the motherfucker. Y'all niggas is built different, you motherfucking vampires. Shame. Don't shame me. Shame them niggas out there looking like motherfucking vampire of Brooklyn. Blood all over their motherfucking face. The craziest shit.
I didn't do it. I would think of you as disgusting. I didn't love you. So you know what? That's when I explored that and we started doing that. And I always had consent because that's what you wanted. You liked doing vampire sex.
Kenneth's biggest denial is that he did not essay her and he did not take advantage of her while she was drunk. The blood, in fact, is from a situation, different times in which Kay Verts would ask Kenneth to have schmexual relations with her while she was on her period. Now, there is no 100% proof of innocence on Kenneth's end right here. He just sprinkled in a little bit of he say, she say. Yes, a woman can like to have period schmex, but that doesn't discount the fact that somebody can also take.
I can see how that can seem, and depending on the picture that she shows, she probably shows some real graphic ass picture, dog. But yeah, I could see how that can basically, you know what I mean? Because your body, as a woman, your body is basically your lining of your walls. It's because, fellas, I know it sounds crazy, but there's some women that don't even know this shit. But the lining of your walls literally is cleaning itself. So it's like, that's literally, I could see how that cleaning process, him going in and out real hard, you feel me? can rupture some shit because your body is literally trying to heal. It's trying to heal. And I hope that nigga was using a condom, because some niggas be like, fuck it. But if he was, and the condom was maybe dry and not lubricated enough, it can rupture some shit. I'm just gonna call it what it is. A little bit of sex ed in that motherfucker.
Take advantage of her and force themselves onto her. K Vertes does have proof that there is blood.
But this is allegedly. We don't know if this happened or not. We know that he's said that that's happened, but that's
on the floor. But Kenneth does have proof she is into this type of schmexual encounter. Not one that we are, shaming on this side. Now, sad as it is to say, there is not any definitive proof that can give one side or the other full clearance or freedom in this situation, but this is just what's been presented to us, and we have to report on it accordingly. What I will say in the portions in which I agree with Kenneth is that this entire story has now changed the entire narrative and conversation as to what we're talking about. No longer about the cousins, but more about the explicit toxic nature of this relationship. Look, I'm gonna be quite honest with you. While I am a fan of these types of stories from the messy and drama perspective, I'm not a fan of these types of stories from a fact-finding perspective. There was a lot, and I do mean a lot of evidence that was provided, but there were things that were so out of context that you have to even question the validity of these things. The paperwork.
Yeah, that's why I go to Omeezy. I'm not gonna hold you. That's kind of why I'm a link the fucking channel, but it's like that's why I go to Omeezy, because a lot of this shit could be like he say she say. A lot of this shit could be because they're not gonna give the full context, because it kind of outs them too. It outs them too of being the type of person. Like, she's not gonna say that, I like to have sex on my period. She's not gonna say that. Like, she's already dealing with the fucking shame of dealing with men that's probably related to her, allegedly.
Work about when she entered the mental facility is real, and those are things that are verifiable. I'm pretty sure you can call up the facility maybe and see if there's some sort of record of her being there. But the call logs with no timestamps about talking to your parents don't really connect and land to me. They're just set in in a void. And this remains true for all of these text exchange, video snippets,
even
photo snippets, and all these other things.
We don't know the context.
Have no timestamps. Don't talk about the before and after and what happened surrounding the situation.
But they're young too.
Pieces of evidence that can support a narrative that isn't really clear for a bunch of people.
Listen, I'm gonna just say this, and Omeezy tried to give like the surgical answer, fellas. It's been what, an hour? If you still here, I'm gonna tell you right now, bruh. Two things. If she says that she's ever dealt with her family members, that ain't the one, my boy. That ain't the one. And try to find the nearest exit if you can. No kink shaming. If that's what she like, that's what she like. And if that's what you like, hey. But as far as a relationship, like foundation, it's a rocky foundation. Second thing, if she ever tries to pull the aspect of I feel like unaliving myself because of what you did or because of something that you may have caused, again, not the one. Find the closest exit, emergency exit. Evacuate, my nigga. Eject. Release. Seriously, like, get the fuck on, bruh. You know what I mean? I'm being facetious and I'm laughing, but it's like, it's not. It's as young people, you think that you're creating a foundation of love, understanding, care, and empathy, but it's not. You know what it is? Trauma bonding. That's what it is. It's trauma bonding. And call it what it is. It's bonding through trauma, through pain, through shame, through something that's literally should not be done in the first place. I don't know, man. This shit nasty, man. This shit nasty as hell. I was gonna watch the original video, but I'm kind of cool now. I was gonna watch the dude's original video, but I'm kind of cool now because it's like I don't want to watch the original video if it's exactly on that type of time. Matter of fact, let's just listen to a little bit of it, right? Let's listen to a little bit of it.
Way out of this one. I'm sorry, but you're done. You're finished. So apparently Kat has dropped a video titled My Truth. But honestly, Kat has dropped a video titled My Truth, but the whole video's fucking lies. So how the fuck does that work? I'm not gonna lie, Kat.
Already
fucked with the wrong one.
Already, it's the whole video is fucking lies, but he's also admitted that some of it isn't lies by saying things like what he was saying before, that he has emotional in the past. He's had an emotional in the beginning of their relationships. He's had a anger management. Now, whether that was with her or without her, I'm not sure. But again, he did admit that he's had that. And he said that he's had that with her because they've been off and on in relationships. Again, this is why I'm not going to watch this, because it's going off already on some, I said nothing, and then later on he says that. I don't know, man. It's nasty.
Nobody, and I mean nobody, will sit here and fucking lie on my fucking name, bro. Hell nah. All right. So the demon has dropped the video.
Again, I get it. I get why he did this. I get it. You know what I mean? Allegedly, if she's being involved with the cousin, I get it. But it's like the way that this been going down, I'm not gonna hold you. It really won't solve nothing. It's nothing but content. It's content. And that's the end of it all, bruh. All this shit is content. There's no resolution in this shit. She's not gonna be healed after this. He's not gonna be healed after this. It's content. It's content, y'all. And that's my issue with a lot of this. I get that it happens. I'm literally making content on the aspect that it happens a lot. It does happen a lot. And I think that it needs to be said that it happens. But as far as their relationship goes, like their back and forth, at this point, it's just content. It's content. Because I don't think that nobody's going to fully say the truth. Because the full truth is that they shouldn't have been involved with each other. That's the full truth. Both of them. Nobody was, I guess, a saint. You know what I mean? Nobody was a saint. Because as much as he said that he didn't do anything, even if that's true, his enabling of her behaviors while he was with her, that he admitted to on multiple occasions, is a problem. So although he thinks that he's a saint, him still not leaving and staying gone is still a problem. We would say the same thing for a woman that stays in a man's life that is abusive. It's a problem. Accountability. You got to grow up sometime and realize that shit, though. You get older and you realize that shit. But yeah, man, y'all be safe, man. Like that, we gone. Bun K.